That game last night was ridiculous for this reason.
Yeah.
The first 3+ quarters of it probably bored you to tears. It sucked. Oh, was it a gross game?
Did you feel like
was it slow moving and not exciting? Ugh. And the million turnovers right out of the gate for Indiana? And to have that finish, it was worth it. It was worth it if you stuck with it. I don't blame you if you tuned out because it was just a boring game. But if you made it to the end, which we all did, this program collectively made it to the end of that game. Look, it's so beaming.
I'm like, they're not
paid
coming
off.
back. They're
it
not
paid
coming
off.
back. They're not coming back.
It
But then
off,
it started, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shut up because what's going to happen? I'm going to start yapping to you guys, and then Oklahoma City's going to pull away, and you guys are going to start laughing at me. So I waited till it was over.
And you know what?
I sent Maz text last night.
Maz?
Nasty ones. I sat home in the worst. How about the traffic? Double kicking the nuts yesterday on traffic going home too. So I got, of course, Felger and Maz on, and Don Darrell's in with them, and it is just a clean sweep. Oh, Oklahoma City, they play both ends of the court, Mike. It's offense, it's defense. This thing's over. It's over. Game, set, match. Over. Everybody picking Oklahoma City. Pick Indiana, baby. I like that team. They're fun to watch. I've been telling you that for 2 years. If they were against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'd take them over the Celtics. I would have picked them over them. I wish the Celtics played like that. But boy, this league. This is a really weird playoff experience in the NBA. These teams that come back at the end of games when it's pretty much 3 quarters the other way. And did you feel like you were watching a mid-major conference game, like in November? The whole arena's dressed up in their little white jerseys. Ugh. And it felt like the camera, I don't know if it was the camera angle or whatever, but like it didn't feel like a massive production. Like NBA Finals, it's booming. They're bumping back with music. Maybe it's because you're used to seeing it in L.A. or Boston, and it's just, it didn't have that feeling, man. It didn't have a feeling like the NBA Finals.
All right, so, okay. Let me get back to the game if I could, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Tyrese Haliburton hits yet another ridiculous clutch shot in a playoff game. You saw the graphic right away with the guys he's up there with that have hit ridiculous clutch shots in the I think the stat they put on the screen right after was within the last 5 seconds of a game. I think that's what it was. He has had a bunch of them this postseason. Game 5 against Milwaukee, layup with 1.1 seconds left. Game 2 at Cleveland, game-winning 3 with 1 second on the clock. Game 1 against the New York Knicks, jumper with no time left. Game 1 at OKC in this finals, game-winning jumper with under a second to go in the game. And everybody celebrates Tyrese Haliburton as being this unbelievable player for having just huge stones in these moments.
Yeah.
And that should be celebrated. But do you know what I think about when these moments happen? Because this is the moment that everybody wants for Jason Tatum, and I'm bringing it right back to Tatum and the Celtics because that is what we do. Everybody looks at this and says, I want Tatum to have that, or Tatum doesn't do this, right?
He's not him. He's not SGA.
I look at Haliburton's night and say,
that wasn't a great night.
He sucked. What are we talking about, guys?
They threw statistics up after
he
that.
Was 6 of 13. Right. He was 2 of 7 from 3. Turned over the ball how many times in this game?
He's clutch.
How many?
Richard Jefferson went on a rant about being like Haliburton needs to show up in these games like 3 minutes before the final shot.
You knew who was taking the shot. That's the difference. You knew who was taking it at the end of the game. The other team knew it. They couldn't stop it. He caught it, and it was going up. It was bang, bang, shoot. And it's like, I got it. That's clutch.
So I get it.
He's got the clutch gene.
The clutch gene is so valuable, right? I mean, because that to me is just the fascinating part of why we watch sports. Who are the guys that when all the pressure is on them is going to come through for his team and not let the moment impact him? Like, that's my favorite thing in sports. It is. It's Dave Roberts stealing second base, right? Those are the things we love and remember. And so I don't know. David Ortiz a million times.
Ortiz.
A million times.
Brady, Ortiz.
All those guys. Those are the things we love.
Edelman.
But I look at it last night and I say, okay, you could make the case that with 10 seconds to go, SGA's got a clean look and could win his team the game, and he didn't.
Yep.
Does that mean you're now taking Tyrese Haliburton over SGA?
No, I'm taking SGA.
No. Yeah. And it's the same reason why you're going to keep Tatum over Brown until the end of time. I rest my case.
Well, that's a Tatum-Brown argument. I don't think you're taking
It's
Tatum
the same
over
thing.
SGA.
Isn't it the same thing? You've got two guys on the floor. This time they're on opposing teams.
Who are you taking, SGA or Tatum? Come on.
I'm taking Tatum still.
I'm taking SGA. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take I'm going to take Tatum.
Thank you.
But I will say this about Haliburton, and this is where I think you can throw analytics when it comes to this stuff. The bottom line is there's a belief there with Haliburton that rubs off on that team. And there's a belief that you're going to be able to come back. And for certain other players, I feel like sometimes that is not the case, right? Like Haliburton and in Indiana clearly believe when they're in these situations, they can pull out and win these games. They can do it. And you saw that again last night in a game that they had no business winning. They led for 0.3 seconds. They get it done. I think that's huge. I think to have a guy that you believe in like that down the stretch goes a long way, not just for him, but for the whole team.
It's a belief. Now, you did what everybody wants to do. Go on the road, game one, still it. You're in a driver's seat now.
Turns out
you control the momentum.
Yeah.
And now you believe, hey, we get our ass kicked all game, but we got guys that can get us back in it, and we can win it at the end if we need to.
Turns out it helps to get a shot off, by the way, when you have the ball with the final possession.
I mean, we went through this with the Knicks. This is the way
Celtics.
The Knicks
Celtics struggled with that the first two games of the series.
The Knicks still your first two, and like it's over because they believe now they got a guy, in Brunson that can get you there and win it.
It is nice to get a shot off at the end.
It is, isn't
it? It's a good thing.
Not get
Maybe
the ball
Celtics could try that next postseason.
Yeah. It's fun not watching that wide 5-2 spread. Where they take their bigs and stick them in the corner. Yeah. It's fun basketball to watch. It is.
You thought last night was fun?
I mean, it wasn't fun, but like if you stuck around, it's fun, yes. And it's back and forth. And those dudes were going at it. Both teams were going at it in the end. That was fun. Because you're like, somebody's got to break. Pressure. They're coming back. You can feel the pressure building. And then you get into like the sports thing you talk about. Who handles pressure the best? This is it. It's championship. Finals. You're in the finals. NBA finals. Then Haliburton's partying with his old man in a tunnel underneath. It's great audio. Great footage. Like that team's got control of the series now. And nobody gave him a chance. Now, nobody.
Celtics are so talented, right? They have all these options down the stretch. Sometimes I think it's a benefit just to have a guy that you're giving the ball to and that you know is going to do it at the end of the game. And so maybe moving forward, Tatum is that guy. And it's enough of like, hey, let's just get the best shot available.
Yeah.
Just give the ball to Jason Tatum and let him go to work.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to, anticipate how he's going to be covered.
And the matchup.
And how to beat it and how to have a good matchup. Forget that.
He's one of the best players in the league.
Right.
Go get us a bucket.
See what happens.
Yeah.
There's no reason in the final 4 minutes he should not have the ability to win the game and take the last shot. He should never have to defer to another guy that's open.
Right. There shouldn't even have to be a play.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Because, hey, it's great and all. And I know statistics are phenomenal. But, those final 4 minutes, is he the guy? And that's the comparison. These are the comments that you get.
Less coaching.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Less coaching,
we
more
need,
Tatum.
Less coaching, more Tatum. If you want these moments from Tatum, like Haliburton has, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Less
open
coaching.
shots. Less open shots.
Just get shots up, period.
Yeah.
You got to get a shot up. Yeah. And if it's him, good look, bad look, make sure we get the shot off. That should be the message.
It was also a 2-pointer, so that's never going to happen with the Celtics.
That's true, too. Let's talk more about the finals because Zoe thinks it didn't. You say it didn't feel like the finals?
Comparative to other years, no, it didn't. No.
Why?
I think
I want to know why you think that is. The LeBron, Kevin Love, Kyrie Cavs were in the finals 10 years ago, and they won it 9 years ago.
It's crazy.
Wow. Time flies, doesn't it?
Think about the names, though. Like, that is a big difference here. You're sort of in that transfer window here where you don't have a Brown, you don't have a Tatum. There's no LeBron, like you just talked about. Kyrie, whether it's Luka from a year ago. Durant, Karl Anthony Towns. You name all the big ones, all the big names. Like, and it's in two very small markets, right? It's Indianapolis and it's Oklahoma City. This isn't Madison Square Garden. This isn't the Forum. This isn't in Detroit. This isn't Chicago. It isn't even Miami, where the Heat played when they won. You know, like, at least it had some feel. You had some pizzazz. Like, you got one fan base that wears all yellow at the game. You got another fan base that wears all white. You feel like you're watching a mid-major college game in the middle of November, just based on the setting. I'm talking about the setting, the feel for it. I know these two teams deserve to be there. They earned it. You know, what if Minnesota was in it? Would it feel different? I don't know.
So this is Jason
or
McIntyre
Jokic?
who said this, by the way, earlier in the week on The Herd, and I think he's getting crushed for this. I think the reaction to this take has been very negative. People saying, well, SGA just won the MVP.
But
Haliburton makes all these clutch late game, big time plays like we saw in game one last night. It's got a little bit of star power. Siakam has been in this spot before.
Yeah.
Right?
I think last year against the Celtics, the way they played against the Celtics, I think helped them. Like, they didn't do enough to Brown hits that massive shot from the corner. Maybe if they get that game, maybe it's a different story. I don't know. But they didn't feel like they knew how to win or take that next step. This year, it seems like it's different.
So his argument is they don't have super teams. His argument is not, and I think people have kind of twisted this.
I don't care about the super
into
teams.
him not, this doesn't have stars.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. It's different stars.
But I'm sorry, SGA does not rise to the level of a Jordan or a LeBron.
No.
And that, to me, is, what they're missing. They're missing their Jordan or their Kobe or their LeBron. The league doesn't have that guy.
With Luka there, I was hoping they would get in and maybe find a way or even get Golden State back in it against Boston. And there's a matchup, Like, that's what you want. Or even if the Knicks got in, it's New York. It's Madison Square Garden.
And this second apron, you're not going to be able to have like a big three, the traditional big three anymore moving forward. They want parity across the rest of the NBA.
The league's different.
And when you have parity, you wind up with Oklahoma City and Indiana versus
it's like
destination cities.
It's like everybody's got a
right?
shot.
Yeah, can I be honest? Why does the league want that?
So I think he's 100% right.
It's never worked for the thing that has always worked for this league is the lack of parity, believe it or not.
Superstars.
And we're just happy to be in Boston where we're in the right party, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. So selfishly, if you're a Celtics fan, you don't want the second apron. You don't want the parity. No. You want Lakers Celtics.
Yes.
You want the marquee matchups, the big-time franchises in the NBA. It's a huge advantage to being the Boston Celtics.
I think fringe fans want that. Do fringe fans tune in last night and stay? I sure as hell wouldn't.
Fringe fans aren't tuning into Thunder versus Pacers. I'm sorry.
No, they're not.
I don't even know if I'm watching last night if Indiana's not in it. I mean, if the Knicks were in it, I probably would because I want to see if they can win it.
Yes, if the Knicks are in it, you're going to watch it.
That's my draw.
Yeah. That would be
my draws last night. I like Indiana.
And they're not a super team and they're not a great team. It
No.
would be more of a draw.
Right.
You know what would be better? A super team and a big three.
Yeah.
That would be way better.
That's why, getting a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, it added to Brown and Tatum and
Luka and LeBron.
Everybody
versus
knew who
Tatum
Drew
and
Holiday
Jalen
is.
Brown and those guys.
Celtics
going
had a
up
super
against
team
each
last
other
year.
would be,
Say what you want. Celtics had a super team when they were healthy. Derek White, his emergence, Drew Holiday. Come on, like it's a better team than what you see last night.
Nobody's picking this matchup if you're playing a game of NBA Jam.
No, nope.
I don't even know who
Jokic.
would be in that game.
I thought it was telling at the end when Jokic got eliminated. Do you guys feel like you get a shot now? He goes, obviously not. We got eliminated, and we're just not good enough. Like, he needed to have another superstar there. It is what it is now.
I'll be interested to see what the NBA does long term, because if you do get parity and you do wind up with matchups like this and the ratings aren't great moving forward, do they scale back some of this stuff that's designed to create parity across the league, right? Do they pull it back in hopes of maybe getting those marquee matchups again? Because I would imagine this is going to be a disaster from a ratings perspective, this finals.
Yeah, probably not great.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not ultimately what the league wants.
Well, same thing with baseball, too. You don't get a big market baseball team in there, there's no draw. Like, it's tough. It's tough on the league for that. I was watching some TikToks last night, too, as the game was boring me, and I'm strolling through some of the NBA stuff. And Shaq was on there telling a story about, he goes, I never told a story, but David Stern, when I came out, he goes, you want to play in a cold environment or a warm environment? He said, come on, man. Louisiana, I want to play in a warm. He said, next thing I know, I'm in Orlando. He said, I never thought about it initially, but now the way some of these guys, I think it was off the Cooper Flag topic too, of like, they're going to ship him to Dallas. Yep, here we go. Like more of that then, right? Less parity. Yeah, direct us. Get guys to good teams. Get a super team. I think in sports we like super teams.
In 2016, the NBA Finals with the Warriors and Cavs again meeting up in those finals. Record-breaking television ratings that year in 2016. The series averaged over 20 million viewers a game. Game 7 had 31 million viewers. It was the most watched NBA Finals at that point since Jordan in 98. So you can say, well, that's catering to casual fans. And you're right. That is. The superstar teams cater to casual fans. But you can't tell me that the hardcore fans don't enjoy that more than they do this. That's what I would say in response. You're right. That is about casual fans. And I'll just go ahead and watch the YouTube highlights instead of watching this game. But I'm watching the game. But anyway, but that's like the argument. Like, oh, if you don't like this, then you don't really like basketball. No, I just like a different brand a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, something and by the way, you can't tell me this was a fun game to watch last night. It wasn't until the very end.
It was like a 13-point game the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
it was dreadful. It was a dreadful watch.
Yeah, it's pissing me off early. Like, they're going to come back? No, they're not coming back. Oh, they're coming back.
So I stand with Jason McIntyre on this. Give us superstars.
I agree. Much as I hate LeBron, like
Give us
it's
better
the anger of it,
superstars.
man. Give me an enemy.
Give me, and it's not
me
just
the
about
evil.
one superstar.
Yeah.
It's about give me more star power on OKC, right?
Yeah.
SGA, and then what?
Nothing.
Who's the supporting cast that has star power?
Because it's not just star power. It's like star power with storylines, right?
Right.
It's
Yes.
LeBron trying to win the championship.
Right.
It's Steph Curry trying to break the wins
Fat
record in
Lucas
that
scoring
2016.
38,
Yeah.
and you can't stop him. It's like that's awesome.
But we weren't even close to getting that this year, based on who the Final Four was.
No, you're right.
Nope.
Like any combination there.